There's huge news as a ceasefire has been agreed to in the Middle East, hostages freed, and President Trump is taking a hopeful victory. But what are the celebrities saying who all seemingly championed one side for so very long? Well, folks, get ready, because if there's one thing that Hollywood is really good at, it's hypocrisy. And we're about to expose them once more.
I'm Robert De Niro, asking you to stand up and be counted in the nationwide No Kings Pro.
Hello, folks, and welcome back to the Pro Channel. I want to give you some assurances as we get into a very spicy video today. I am not here to sway you to any side. You don't have to watch this video and worry what's Pro going to say politically. Am I going to agree or disagree? Folks, I'm here to assure you we are going to take down Holly Weird and the celebrities who I fear are completely and utterly disingenuous. I know that you are the kind of person watching this video. You are smart enough to have already become somewhat of an expert on what it is that you believe about the Middle East, and you don't have to worry. We're not going to do that. But what I want to show you is the celebrities, the movie stars, they're disgusting. Take a look at this, folks, out of The View. This is the X account for The View. And the X account for The View posts all the stuff that The View covers on a daily basis. And you all know it's a news talk show, right? That's what they do. That's what they cover. That's what they say. So let's see what they've had to say about the Middle East and, well, the peace agreement. What a wonderful thing, eh? Well, The View is honoring the legacy of Cuban music. Okay. The View has answers if you're looking for vendors to have half-off clever solutions. All right. Kenzie Richardson is a 14-year-old star behind Disney Channel's live-action musical comedy series Vampirina. Okay. Shonda Rhimes says women need to brag more. Surely there's something here. Rosa Byrne is getting Oscar buzz. Come on, there's got to be something in here. Country star Zach Bryan and Ice. There's nothing in here. Folks, there's nothing in here. Chloe Feynman tells what she's looking for to... There's nothing in here. Toxic relationships. Yeah, that's The View. There's nothing. They're not covering it on The View. In fact, folks, it's not just that they're not covering it on The View. Hollywood and all those celebrities who told you that their hearts were with the people that were being treated badly in the Middle East. It was the cause that they were going to rise up for. They were going to defend this. And I'm not here to say, folks, that things have not been bad for various peoples all over the world. I'm not going to do that. But I'm here to tell you that celebrities suck. They just do. How badly? Well, folks, take a look at this. Robert De Niro, after we get the peace agreement, right? And we hope it holds. Wouldn't that be wonderful? That's something everyone should be celebrating. It's crickets. It's nothing. There's not a peep out of Hollywood right now about it. Robert De Niro comes out with this instead of celebrating the peace deal and the freeing of hostages. Straight to this.
The original No Kings protest was 250 years ago. Americans decided they didn't want to live under the rule of King George III. They declared their independence and fought a bloody war for democracy. We've had 2.5 centuries of democracy since then. Often challenging, sometimes messy, always essential. And we've fought in 2 world wars to preserve it. Now we have a would-be king who wants to take it away. King Donald I. That. We're rising up again this time, non-violently, raising our voices to declare no kings. I'm Robert De Niro, asking you to stand up and be counted in the nationwide No Kings Pro.
Let's just pause it there. We don't have to keep watching. Just look at the man's face. He's angry. He's mad. We just had potentially, folks, I'm not here to tell you that, listen, you all know the history of the Middle East. You know that it's been thousands of years of conflict, okay? But we just have like a glimmer of hope. There's some hope. There's some hope that human suffering will be diminished. There's some hope that a lasting peace could be there. Nothing. No joy. The celebrities have no joy. Go look it up for yourselves. Movie stars who were absolutely livid every single day suddenly went silent the moment there is possible victory. Now, you all know the reason for that. Dave Rubin brings this out and says how absolutely ridiculous and yet totally obvious that Bernie, AOC, Rashida, and virtually all the progressive leadership hasn't tweeted a word about the Trump peace deal, even though they've been screaming about the G word for 2 years. They should be dancing in the streets, and instead silence. The masks are off. ladies and gentlemen, it's not just the progressive leadership, unless you want to say Hollywood is part of that too, and well, maybe it is. It's not just that. It's all the movie stars. It's the Rachel Zeglers, right? It's all of these people. It's the Mark Ruffalos. Total silence. And why? I love this meme. Right? It says, peace deal announced. Major victory for the Orange Man. And you've got somebody in a war-torn, forlorn area on their knees saying, please work. And then you've got somebody with blue hair, you know the folks, the wokies, praying that it fails. I don't know who they'd be praying to. They don't believe in that sort of thing. If we go to USA Today, I just want to remind you, back in June 24th, Rachel Zegler defends controversial comments about the Middle East after Snow White drama. Brendan Morrow had this one. Rachel Zegler is reflecting on the alarming Snow White backlash and doubling down on her support for one particular side in that Middle Eastern conflict. I bet you can guess which side it was. It wasn't the side of Gal Gadot, was it? No, it wasn't. Gal Gadot had to get personal security because of Rachel Zegler and what she was saying. Let me just read part of this to you. Zegler says, my compassion has no boundaries, is really what it is. And my support for one cause does not denounce any others. That's always been at the core of who I am as a person. It's the way I was raised. There are obviously things that are at stake by being outspoken. Nothing is worth innocent lives. My heart doesn't have a fence around it. If that is considered my downfall, there are worse things. Folks, go look at Instagram. Go look at Twitter. Anywhere you can go. Zegler has not said yippee-ki-yay, not a single word today or yesterday about the peace deal that we can find. We've done the research. We've done the research, right? What about Greta Thunberg? She's been sitting on little pretend boaties floating over there over and over again, trying to make a mess of things. And Greta Thunberg, who took real heat, New York Post was mocking her 2 days ago because she accidentally posted someone from the other side, right? She intended we'll leave it at this. She messed up badly in which picture she used. Greta, who the media decided was going to be the poster child for global warming, it turns out she's absolutely insane. Go figure. What's she had to say? What's she had to say today about victory in terms of peace? Nothing. Take a look at this, folks. This is out of Arab News. And I think this article is mostly propaganda. But it says the growing wave of celebrities who have endorsed a two-state solution and condemn the country over the catastrophe that's over the Middle East. You can see the celebrities, and it goes through the list, right? It says, here's Ariana, keep her away from a balloon. Starving people to death is a red line. The Israeli government is crossing this red line before our eyes. Ariana goes on. You can keep getting these. This is Angelina Jolie. What happened is an act of the T word, but that cannot justify the innocent lives lost in destroying a civilian population. This is what they were saying. This is what every single day, folks, they're disgusting because they're hypocrites. And the way that you can know that they're hypocrites is they're not celebrating. Why are they not celebrating that it's going to stop and peace might actually exist? Why are they not celebrating? Why are they not doing it? Because that would give credit to the Orange Man. And because the conflict served their purposes. I hate to be that way, but I'm going to show it to you. Former President Barack Obama had this to say, and I'm going to point out this to you. And, I consider President Barack Obama, he is heavily influential at Netflix. He wines and dines with celebrities. His wife is into podcasting now. I think of him kind of as a celebrity, the same way that I think that President Trump is definitely a celebrity. So let's read what he has to say. After 2 years of an unimaginable loss and suffering for Israeli families and the people of the other side, we should all be encouraged and relieved that an end to the conflict is within sight, that those hostages still being held will be reunited with their families, and that the vital aid can start reaching those whose lives have been shattered. More than that, though, it now falls on the two groups, with the support of the U.S. and the entire world community, to begin the hard task of rebuilding and to commit to a process that, by recognizing the common humanity and basic rights of both peoples, can achieve a lasting peace. You'll notice he doesn't congratulate the United States or anybody associated with the United States for having achieved this, despite the fact that it seems that the United States achieved this, and the Orange Man gets a feather in the cap, and it's a big one, right? Because this hopefully will save millions of lives. Millions of lives. Millions of lives, right? That's not political. It's not. Saving lives is not a political thing. It's been made into a political thing. But it's a wonderful thing. And, should he get the Nobel Peace Prize? I don't know that that award has any meaning anymore, right? Not going to get it this year. But people are saying that should be on the table. I'm not sure. Well, who's saying it? Folks, we don't have celebrities at this point calling for that, despite the fact that this was their cause, not du jour, but of the year. We don't have celebrities calling for that. Best we got, Democratic senators are saying this, or at least one is, while celebrities remain completely and totally silent. Here's John Fetterman out of Pennsylvania.
Do you think the president deserves the Nobel Peace Prize?
Well, I mean, if this sticks, I think the whole point of having a Nobel Peace Prize is for ending wars and promoting peace. And I'm going to make a direct appeal to the president. I hope he chooses to provide the tomahawks to the Ukrainians too, and give them the tools that they need to push back against Russia. And if he brings the Ukrainian war to its end, I'll be the Democrat leading the committee for his Nobel Prize Peace for ending both of these terrible wars.
Yet Hollywood is silent. Can't find it on The View, remember? And we'll cover it. You know what else they won't cover? I'll tell you this. I'm not going to pull it up right now. I'll just tell you. It's amazing to me. We'll play this just silent in the background. Silently, I said. Silently, Sonny. Late night TV, last night. Jimmy Kimmel, Stephen Colbert. I'm going to hold those guys accountable. Jimmy Fallon says he's completely out of politics, and maybe he's out of the news. But Colbert and Kimmel, crickets won't even discuss that President Trump and America have perhaps brought peace to the Middle East. Instead, The View is doing this. Instead, late night is doing whatever they're doing. Yep. Organeezy. There you go, folks. You want to get with Organeezy? The View's doing that instead of covering historic peace. It is as if, ladies and gentlemen, it is as if the Berlin Wall has come down. Our generation's Berlin Wall has come down. Maybe it's what we can hope for. Some of you out there are cynical, and I understand why. I'm worried too. But what if it holds? What if peace holds, at least for a while? It's as if the Berlin Wall has fallen for our generation, and the news and Hollywood refuse to cover it because of what it would do to them. Because it was always about power. It's not about humanitarianism. It's not about kindness. It's not about genuine empathy. It's not about right or wrong. It's unbridled, unfiltered power. And that's what these people want. Deluded and delusional in their search, their quest for power. Ladies and gentlemen, the hour is here for you to click that like button. Also, share this sucker out and drop a comment down below. Let us know your thoughts on what we've had to say. Remember, folks, keep it civil, keep it kind. And we've tried very hard to stay out of the politics of this and to not go into telling you anything about either side. We wanted it to be about Hollywood. I hope you appreciate what we've tried to do here and to send this far and wide across the fruited plains of YouTube. Ladies and gentlemen, it's almost the weekend. We've got more content on the way 4 times a day, every single day, right here on the Pro Channel. We're going to see you real soon. Until the next time, keep learning, keep growing, and as always, keep having fun.
This is Wilton the Troll reporting for That's Park Place, and I'm surrounded by loving and adoring people who are peacefully trying to make sure that poor kids aren't cold in the winter. And just behind me, you can see a totally natural bonfire for baking cookies or making marshmallows.
Yeah, so, Wilson, we really appreciate the effort and stuff, but we're looking for real and, accurate news reporting on that Park Place.
So not like most news outlets, huh?
No.